Think vegetables are always safe? Think again. What if I told you that some of the foods you've trusted your whole life could actually poison your body if you eat them the wrong way? Today, we're diving into the shocking truth behind 10 dangerous vegetables you should stop eating before it's too late. And trust me, number 1 will completely change the way you look at your plate. Vegetables are supposed to be the symbol of health. Every nutritionist tells us, eat more vegetables. But the truth is more complicated. While most vegetables are good for you, some contain natural toxins, harmful chemicals, or hidden risks that can seriously affect your health. If you don't know how to prepare or consume them safely, you could be putting your body in danger without even realizing it. So, let's uncover the top 10 dangerous vegetables you need to watch out for and learn how to protect yourself. 10. Tomatoes, unripe/green. Tomatoes are one of the world's most popular vegetables or fruits, depending on how you classify them. Ripe, red tomatoes are packed with antioxidants like lycopene, which protect your heart and skin. But when they're green and unripe, it's a different story. Unripe tomatoes contain a compound called tomatin. In small amounts, it's harmless, but in larger doses, it can trigger headaches, stomach pain, and even nervous system problems. Farmers actually rely on similar alkaloids as natural insect repellents. Here's a fun fact. In the 1800s, some Europeans believed tomatoes were poisonous because wealthy people eating them often got sick. It turned out that acidic tomato juice was reacting with the lead in their pewter plates, causing lead poisoning. While ripe tomatoes are safe, fried green tomatoes, a southern delicacy, can be risky if eaten too often. So the question is, would you still eat green tomatoes now that you know the risks? 9. Eggplant, aubergine. Eggplants belong to the nightshade family, along with tomatoes and potatoes. And like them, they produce solanine, a natural pesticide. Raw eggplants contain the most solanine, which can lead to nausea and cramps. That's why most cultures cook them before eating. In fact, Mediterranean and Asian cuisines usually grill, roast, or stew eggplants, not just for taste, but also for safety. Interesting fact. In medieval Europe, eggplants were nicknamed mad apples because people thought eating them caused insanity. While that's an exaggeration, excessive solanine can definitely cause neurological symptoms. Cooking lowers the toxin, but eating too much eggplant still isn't wise. Do you usually peel and salt your eggplants before cooking? That traditional method isn't just for flavor. It also reduces bitterness and solanine. 8. Rhubarb leaves. Rhubarb is famous in pies and jams, but here's a little-known fact. Its leaves are so toxic that during World War I, people in Britain who ate rhubarb leaves during food shortages suffered poisonings. The danger comes from oxalic acid and anthraquinone glycosides, which can cause seizures, breathing difficulties, and kidney failure. Just a handful of raw rhubarb leaves could be lethal. Have you noticed rhubarb is always sold without leaves? That's because stores remove them for your safety. So while the red stalks are safe and tart, the leaves should never make it to your plate. 7. Potatoes, green or sprouted. Potatoes feed billions of people worldwide, but they hide a dangerous side. When exposed to light, they turn green and produce more solanine. The same happens when they sprout. Symptoms of solanine poisoning include vomiting, diarrhea, fever, and even paralysis in extreme cases. Historical fact. In 1979, more than 70 school children in England were hospitalized after eating potato dishes made from green tubers. Here's the scary part. Even peeling doesn't always remove all the toxin. So next time you see a green potato, it's not worth the risk. Throw it away. Be honest. Have you ever just cut off the green parts and cooked the rest? 6. Celery seems harmless, right? Crunchy, low-calorie, perfect for dipping in hummus. But it's one of the most pesticide-contaminated vegetables in the world. The Environmental Working Group consistently ranks celery on the dirty dozen list. Because it has no peel, pesticides seep directly into its fibers. Non-organic celery can carry chemicals that disrupt hormones and increase cancer risks. But that's not all. Celery naturally contains psoralens, compounds that make your skin more sensitive to UV light. Farmers working in celery fields have actually developed rashes and burns from handling it in the sun. Question: Do you buy organic celery, or do you just rinse it quickly and eat? Washing helps, but does it remove chemicals already inside the stalk? 5. Spinach. Spinach is marketed as a superfood, thanks to its iron and vitamins. Remember Popeye? The cartoon was actually created to boost spinach sales during the 1930s. But spinach also contains high levels of oxalates, which bind calcium and lead to kidney stones. For people prone to stones, eating spinach every day can be dangerous. Another fact: spinach is also prone to contamination with E. coli during farming, which has led to multiple food recalls in the U.S. Do you blend spinach into smoothies every morning? That habit could backfire if you're not careful. Moderation is key. For mushrooms, certain types. Mushrooms are tricky. Some are superfoods, while others are deadly poisons. The death cap mushroom, for example, looks similar to edible varieties but has killed countless foragers. Even store-bought mushrooms like button mushrooms contain a agouti, which can be carcinogenic if eaten raw in very large amounts. That's why experts recommend cooking mushrooms. Heat reduces the toxins and makes nutrients more bioavailable. Have you ever eaten raw mushrooms in salads? Now you know why chefs usually cook them first. 3. Cabbage and cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, kale, Brussels sprouts. These veggies are nutrition powerhouses, but they contain goitrogens, which interfere with thyroid hormone production by blocking iodine absorption. People who already have thyroid conditions should be especially cautious about eating large amounts raw. Cooking destroys most goitrogens, which is why traditional cuisines usually boil or steam these vegetables before serving. Fun fact: the ancient Romans used cabbage juice as medicine, believing it cured almost everything. While that's an exaggeration, too much raw cabbage might actually harm your metabolism. Have you ever had a green smoothie with raw kale and felt bloated or sluggish afterward? 2. Kidney beans, undercooked. Kidney beans are protein-packed and affordable, but they can be deadly if cooked incorrectly. Raw or undercooked beans contain phytohemagglutinin, a toxin that causes violent vomiting and diarrhea. In fact, just 4 to 5 undercooked beans can trigger food poisoning. The only safe way to prepare them is to soak and then boil them vigorously for at least 10 minutes. Here's a surprising fact: slow cookers often don't get hot enough to destroy the toxin. That means if you toss raw beans into a crock pot, you might end up in the ER. Question: have you ever cooked beans this way without realizing the danger? 1. Cassava yucca root. Cassava is a staple for over 500 million people, especially in Africa and South America. But it contains compounds that release cyanide if not properly prepared. Improperly cooked cassava can cause chronic poisoning, nerve damage, or even death. That's why traditional preparation methods include peeling, soaking, fermenting, drying, and then boiling or frying. Skipping a step could make it deadly. Fun fact: cassava flour is used in gluten-free baking worldwide, but only after intense processing to remove toxins. So there you have it, the 10 vegetables that can be harmful, even dangerous, if you eat them the wrong way. The lesson here isn't to fear vegetables. It's to respect them, learn how to prepare them properly, eat them in moderation, and understand their hidden risks. Which of these surprised you the most? Have you been eating any of them the wrong way without realizing it? Let us know in the comments. And if this video opened your eyes, hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more health secrets. Stay safe, stay healthy, and remember, sometimes the foods we trust the most hide the biggest dangers.